Hi, I'm Davey.
And I'm Jackie. And this is the weekend hangover. Dude, you totally told me you were going to say it.
No, I said you say it. I said I'm gonna say I'm Davey, and you're gonna say I'm Jackie. And this weekend hangover. Then you asked me, "Who am I again?"
Yeah. And you said Davey, so I got confused. And I was looking at my phone trying to do a mom date tomorrow with the kids.
Well,
Think
with that, welcome, folks. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Weekend Hangover. I hope you are having a wonderful Sunday. I hope you have your glass of wine, beer, whatever it is that you're drinking with you, and enjoying us on a wonderful Sunday evening. We have a decent amount to talk about tonight. We
mm-hmm.
have Vanderpump Rules. We have Fani Willis. We have some viral clips on TikTok that I want to get out there and get people's opinions and see how this goes. But other than that, you were talking about you now have friends. Elaborate. Ready, go.
Yeah, so I decided to be social. I met these two women who have kids that are around my kids' age, and I was just like, we're gonna be living here for a while. I gotta be social. Well, I
How
really
long have you
liked
been there?
them
How long have you been there?
a year, and I really do like them, and so and apparently they like me too, and I didn't realize that was gonna happen. So now they invite me to do things, so I gotta be social.
You like me.
And,
You really like
yeah,
me.
I know. I get really excited though. I'm like, whatever. Just my friends are asking me to hang out, that's all. But yeah,
No,
yeah.
I get it. Listen, when I moved from Topeka to here, I didn't have anybody to say goodbye to. So I was just like, I've been there for 2 years. Buy house, and that was quickly moved into quicker than my ex. But anyway, um, you know, it was what? What
Vacant
happened?
lots, wow. That was
But
quick, I got that, and I was like, "Whoa!"
but anyway, I mean, it's nice to make friends. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday because I want to get my CCW.
I
Because
don't
it's a
what is
lot
that?
easier,
Oh, conceal okay.
conceal carry, permit, CCP,
Mhm,
and, because it's a lot easier to purchase firearms if you have a CCP, it's like you just go in and you
mhm.
don't have to do the background check. It's already done,
Right.
with that. So, I was like plus out here, it's like $150, if that.
Oh, not
So it's
bad.
no, it's not expensive. So I was like, "You know what, I'm" so I was talking to some guy, he's like, "Oh, yeah, no, my neighbor 2 doors down from me, he does classes." And I go, "Oh, what's your neighbor's name?" And he goes, "I don't know." I go, "You know this guy does CCP, uh, classes, but you don't know what his name is?" He goes, "No." I go, "Okay, how do I get in touch with him?" "Oh, he owns this place. You know this place over there, in the north side of town, and then, it's got it's an automotive place?" And I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know what that place is." He goes, "Yeah, he owns that." And I go, "Okay. So when I call, who do I ask for?" He goes, "The owner." And I'm just like I go, okay, okay."
You must be
And
like me, like, when it comes to, like, names of people, like, I go and I'll meet a bunch of people and I'm like, "Oh, hi," and, like, the second that someone's name, it goes, "Shh," and,
"Oh,
like, I don't
hi.
remember,
My
and then
name
you
is
don't and then you
Maggie."
get in that awkward position where you meet them again and you forget their name and you're just like, "Oh, hey, you?"
Well, you have to do it like she did in the House Bunny when you go, "Hi, my name is Maggie." You go, "Hey, Maggie."
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Donna. Donna. I love dude, Anna Faris is fucking hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. Between House Bunny and the Scary Movies, she was
Just Friends, did you see
just
Just
oh my
Friends?
god, yeah. Well,
Like,
actually,
my
I
favorite
lived
Christmas movie of all time.
I lived Just Friends, okay? I was Ryan Reynolds in that movie, okay? So, yes, I know Just Friends. It's a great movie. Um, but I'm sorry, there's nothing Ryan Reynolds can't do that's not amazing. From Just
Green
Friends to the
Lantern.
oh,
I had that one in the chamber real quick.
I mean, the first time he came out as Deadpool, I mean, he even makes fun of that, but still, in the first, in the X-Men movies where they seal his mouth shut and he's got blades coming out of him? You never seen that?
No.
Have you ever seen Deadpool?
Yes.
You know, when he, kills that guy who's got that like, his mouth is covered, and they're like, "Wade, they finally found a way to shut you up?" Like, he literally kills him in, I think, Deadpool 2. He kills himself.
I've seen it. It's just been a long time. It's not one of those ones that I've watched more than once.
By the way, Amanda brought up a very interesting thing to me yesterday, speaking of Deadpool. You know they stopped making Blu-rays?
They have. I know they still make DVDs though.
That's what I heard. That's what she stated. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but she stated that they've stopped making Blu-rays, and I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah," because she was looking up, how much certain Blu-rays are that
Oh, like the actual player, like a Blu-ray
No,
player?
no, the actual movies, like the Blu-ray movies, they've
Oh.
stopped making them, is what she's stating, and I mean, you know me, my obsession with DVDs and movies. I went out and I was like, "Okay, challenge." She showed me a couple of them, and I'm not gonna say I'm here because I don't want the 7 people to go and look for them, um but yeah, she showed me a couple. She's like, "Yeah, this is worth $200. This is worth $150. This is worth this." And I'm like, "Hmm."
Hmm.
So, like, now I'm on a new journey to just buy old, Blu-rays. Um,
Mhm.
I didn't know they have I found, RoboCop, Bull Durham, um, Predator, the original.
I've never seen any of those. Not even Predator. I've only seen one part of Predator, and that's when he, like, puts mud all over himself, and that's it.
I'm
That's all
gonna
I
have
know,
to
and then
can
and
I
the thing
have your
goes,
hu can I have your
and
husband's phone number, please? I need to have a conversation with this man.
he
You need
tries. He tries, and then I'm like, "Nope." Honestly, like, we watched Lost together, and at a certain point, if I'm just not into it, I can't do it.
That's the
We
problem, it's
watched
called
Lost, within
Lost.
season 3, I was like, "I'm done." We were watching Walking Dead, within season 4, I was like, "Nope, I'm done."
I mean, you
We
got to the
got,
best
like
seasons. You got the 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was the best seasons. After that,
I know.
it's just like The Sims, just watching people just live their everyday life during apocalypse. That's all it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just certain things that I'm just like, okay, I have to be in the mood for it, man. You should see when I sit down and I try to crochet and find something to watch. It's like I spend an hour trying to find something to watch, and at that point, I'm like, I'm too tired to crochet. So,
I listen, that's why I don't like streaming services because, I'll watch just I'll just click on the movie and I'll go, "Oh," and I'll watch the entire movie of my head because 'cause I've seen them all. All the movies that I've seen, like, I just go, "Oh," and I've seen it, and so it just plays the whole movie in my head, all the good parts anyway,
mm.
and,
Oh, side note, we had Cooper watched my 8-year-old. He watched The Sandlot for the first time.
and
Loves it. He thought it was hilarious. He was, like, jumping around, screaming. He's like, "Oh, that's such a big dog." Like, he's like, "Why is he scared? It's just a dog. Look, he's gonna lick his whole face." Like, and
you
like,
play
I mean,
ball
he
like a
was
girl.
oh my god, he made us replay that part because he thought it was hilarious. Because he's like, first of all, he didn't know what that meant, though. We had to tell him what it meant, and then he thought it was hilarious. And then when Squints, kisses Wendy Peppercorn at the pool, we had to replay that again because he thought it was hilarious that he pretended to drown to kiss a girl.
Sexual assault isn't funny,
Yeah.
Cooper. Listen, it was just an
Uh.
innocent back in the back. I can't wait till that movie gets canceled because you know it's gonna happen, and somebody's gonna be like, "Well, that's sexual assault. You
Well,
can't."
yeah, it should have been canceled already because it be saying that you play ball like a girl is an insult. Dare you?
Yeah, did you see, by the way, the girl? There's a girl from Iowa that just broke the collegiate record for most points scored in a season by a girl.
It wasn't a girl though.
Yeah, it was.
You sure?
Yeah, I just saw it. I didn't. Did I like it? I don't think I liked it. I don't know if I liked it. But, yeah, it was supposedly the most points ever scored by a girl, and I was just like, "What's that?
Oh,
1,000?"
how much?
You
How
ever
much
watch
was
college
it?
basketball? I have no idea. You ever watch college basketball? Women's basketball? They don't score a lot.
Yeah, I think I watched. I no, I saw the results of one college women's basketball game, and it was like 30 to like 50 or something like that. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
it's not a lot of points scored in a college basketball game for women's, but good on her. I'm glad she did that, and it's good to it's a good feeling. But do you want to talk about Vanderpump Rules first?
yes.
Because
Okay, so I've been teasing this for 4 weeks now because
just like our
that's how
Jersey
long
Shore
it's been
episode
out.
that we're gonna do,
Oh God. Oh
I
yeah.
want to do it still. I want to do it.
I
I
know we
want to talk
have
about
to
this.
do it because it was like it was an essence
It's our childhood.
of it was. Um all right, so season 11 of Vanderpump Rules started a few weeks ago, and this is after the whole like 3 or 4
Scandival.
months after the whole Scandival thing broke, which was Tom Sandoval, who was dating this woman, Ariana. They had been together for about 9 years, and Tom had cheated on her with this other woman named Raquel, aka Rachel, also known as Rachel. And she was apparently Ariana, like she's like one of Ariana's good friends. And they had been having an affair for like 6 or 7 months, for almost a year. Crazy. And it like came out because Ariana was at Tom Sandoval's concert and his phone fell out of his pocket. So she grabbed it to hold on to it for him. And then she was going through his phone for some reason and found a video of Raquel and him doing like a FaceTime call that he recorded and her doing
Bow chicka wow
stuff
wow
to
chicka
herself.
wow
Yes.
wow.
And so then that all broke, and it was just like this huge thing. New York Times talked about it, CNN talked about it, became this huge thing. Ariana got a lot of like different endorsement deals. She got to do a lot of different shows. She was actually on Dancing with the Stars this past season and stuff, and she's made a lot of money from this thing. While Tom Sandoval and the Raquel girl, they've just been drugged through the mud through the whole thing, which I can understand.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it got to a really bad point where the girl Rachel went to a mental health facility for like 3 months.
once again, I feel bad for her. She was just
I
brought
do
into
too.
this.
She didn't know. I mean, and then Tom Sandoval, he actually went out on tour with his band after everything broke and just kind of like, I mean, he said he's tried working on himself. He stopped drinking for a long time. I don't know if he's back to drinking again. Started doing a podcast called Everybody Loves Tom because he's a cheeky bastard, but whatever. Anyway, so they did a whole reunion from
Reunion.
season 10, and it was brutal. People F-bombing, calling stuff like literally basically calling the girl Raquel a piece of dog shit. And she's like, yes, yes, I am a piece of dog shit. And you're like, you guys are breaking her. She's like almost 10 years younger than all of you. So
Bullying's not allowed unless everybody has one person to bully.
right. Yeah. So anyway, so season 11 starts out and it's honestly it's kind of boring. It's very boring right now and
Well, was it
they're
John?
treating
John
go
moves
ahead.
in with what's her face? John's got a new girlfriend, the British dude,
James. So
James.
James has a girlfriend. Her name is Allie. James and Raquel used to be engaged to one another. And they broke that off a few seasons ago. I think it was season 9. They broke off their engagement. And he quickly moved on to Allie. Now they moved into a house together. Cool. Like
Now they moved into a house together. Anyway,
cool. Yeah.
sure.
I mean, and he's like California sober, so like he doesn't drink, but he smokes pot or whatever. Um Tom Schwartz is being treated like a freaking leper. And he's like walking around like a dog with a tail between its legs that's always getting hit in the news by a newspaper. Poor, I feel bad for him of everyone. Um,
Why?
but the reason why they're mad at him is because he's best friends with Tom Sandoval. And he knew about the affair before it came out. And so everyone's mad at him for not saying anything. And he's like, "But it wasn't my business to tell.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to
Yeah,
do? It's my best friend."
it's nobody's fucking business to tell anybody's business. And we're in this world where like guilt by association and is
Yeah,
almost sometimes it's worse being associated. Like, bro, I'm not the one that fucking cheated. He did.
right.
Like, I'm
Right.
not the one
And
that did that. He did, but you're
yeah.
mad at me because I was just like, whatever you want to do. He doesn't have control of his life. They're friends. They're not life fucking partners.
Yeah. And he got screwed after. So Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval, they have a restaurant together called Shorts and Sandy's. And after the affair broke, like people were giving their restaurant like a 1-star review on Yelp, leaving really bad comments, and it really like a lot of people quit because it was a hostile work environment and things like that. So, and they had just opened up their new bar and like had all their money into it. So,
Yeah.
like Tom and Sandoval like lost a lot of money, but they're still
And
the
Lisa gave
far
him money too.
I don't know. I think she may have. I'm
Yeah,
not entirely sure.
she gave him like 50,000 to open Tom and
That
Sandy's.
was their initial investment that they
Yeah.
had put into Tom Tom, and then she gave it back to them to help them out with this one. Um, and then Tom Sandoval had actually stepped down as like an operating owner of Schwartz and Sandy's. Like he really didn't like show his face or have anything to do with the place because of the scandal, which was he cheated on his girlfriend.
It
Like
is
it's insane.
This is just the
Like
most unbelievable, and this is what we talk about, like, we talked about this last week on Business Party, like, the internet is just a wild place. Like, everybody's
yes.
upset because some guy cheated on his girlfriend, and people are emotionally invested into this
Oh,
television
yeah.
show. This partially scripted, mind you, partially
Right,
scripted television show
right.
where, like, they kinda know what's going on. Is the affair real? Maybe. Do we know?
Yes, no. The
Absolutely.
affair was I 100% believe the affair was 100% real because of just how much it blew up,
Well,
okay? But, the whole it's just but it's weird though, because Tom Sandoval and his ex, Ariana, still live in the same house together. They bought a house together and like she's like I he wanted to buy her out and she's like no fuck him he broke up this relationship, he doesn't get to keep the house too. A little bit like I mean I get it but it's still a little petty in it's like
it is.
girl you have like she already has a new boyfriend that she's apparently like so in love with and they're still together, it's been almost a year. So, like, she's already has a new boyfriend, but she's still living in the same house with her ex.
So she can bring him over and he can see. It's the
Well,
only reason.
they don't interact with each other. They only interact through Tom Sandoval's assistant. Like
And they
they
don't have
text
kids,
her to
right?
text back.
They have no
No, no
kids.
kids. No kids. They're not married. The only thing that they have together is this house. And um
And she won't buy him out. Guaranteed.
no, she doesn't want anything to do with the house. She wants the house gone. She wants to get and he
S
wants to keep the house because he's like, I put a
s
lot of shit into this house and he asked to buy her out and she's like, no, I won't. You don't get to keep it. You destroyed this. You don't get
I
to
don't
keep the house.
I don't know if we're gonna touch Fanny because I think this leads into the other thing I want to talk about today because it's
Okay.
just women just she doesn't want the house. She has nothing to do with the house, but she won't let him buy her out because just because.
Well, and then I also so season 11 was filmed 3 or 4 months after the scandal broke, right?
Okay.
So it's new and it's fresh, but still, it was only 3 or 4 months afterwards, and Ariana already has a new dude. So, yes.
And like and the whole thing is like let's kind of do a little let's go back a little because let's not put it solely on Tom either. Because
Okay.
they were both what a new
Yes,
dude.
a
Yeah.
new dude.
Yes, the new dude. So like he was doing this to her forever and she knew about it. But she consistently lied for him. Remember, she kept covering up for him and covering up for him and covering up for him in the past episodes because they put it in the because
For
for Ariana was kept on covering up for Tom because there was other
Mhm.
accusations and everything like that. So she knew
Oh,
Tom
that
was
no, okay. So, okay, this is when she covered up for him when him and Ariana first started dating back in season 3, 2 or 3, he was in between just breaking up with his girlfriend at the time, Kristen, who later dated James, by the way. It's very incestuous. Okay. Yeah. Like I anyway. And so while they were like kind of talking, but like I don't know if they made it an official yet. Maybe they're like a Ross and Rachel situation. We were on a break type thing. I don't know. But apparently he slept with this girl called Miami Girl. And everyone's like, you slept with Miami Girl. And he's like, no, I didn't. We didn't do it. You know, she just touched my pickle. That's it. Like nothing happened. Like,
she just
you
played with
know,
my pecker. That's all.
yeah. So anyway,
Love is blind. Yeah, that's a good one too.
so and Ariana's like, no, I was on the phone with him like the whole time. She like did not do that. And then we come to find out that he did do it, and she was like covering up for him the whole time because she didn't want people to think that he was a douche. And we're like, we already know he was a douche. Like, just be like, yeah, I didn't. I don't understand why I just didn't fess up. It was just like really weird.
She did
Anyway,
not touch my pickle.
but she likes cigars.
but
Any,
yeah,
yeah,
but so she covered she but she's also covered up
yeah.
for other times about stuff. So like
Well,
it's
she
not
got her cookie eaten out by a Lala, and everyone's like, "That's okay."
I'm
And
not
Tom was
I'm
like, "Yeah, they didn't even let me watch. I was driving."
listen, I'm not gonna lie. I don't I wouldn't contemplate that cheating either, as long as I was in if I because he was in the car. He was in the car
That's
and it
true.
happened. So it's not like she hid it from him. It's not like she was just like, "Yeah, Lala ate my cookie, like, a couple days
Yeah,
ago while you were out on tour trying to, be a rock star or whatever." It's like, no, she did it in the back seat. Other
yeah,
way around, not the same. Couldn't say that out loud and let everybody know it's not the same the other way around. But the female, that's not cheating if it's done
the other way around is called prison.
true. Very true. Not gay. It was just in jail for a long time, okay?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a Lala is a Lauren from Utah. Her name is Lauren, but they call her Lala.
Oh,
Anyway.
okay. Unfortunately, Anthony, this is not a TikTok live. This is just a YouTube. Uh, but yeah. So anyway, she's known a lot of this, and Tom hasn't been very faithful or very like because at some points they're like,
It's not that it hasn't been faithful, it's just that they like, a big running thing throughout the whole series about their relationship is that, like, when they had sex, it was good sex, but it was few and far between. That was, like, a running thing throughout their whole 10-year relationship, okay?
we have to
And
we have to find a way to get like a phone line or a Skype line into here so that way we could have people interject. That'd be great.
I know.
But yeah, it's been a running theme.
No, so it has been a running theme that, like, I mean, but they also were seen as like the perfect couple, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so we're hmm. So in these past 4 episodes, let's see. Sheena comes out and says that she has postpartum OCD. That's why she's crazy. And then everything is about her. and she was mad at Tom Sandoval for not calling her or like talking to her after Tom Sandoval's friend passed away. And this is after she was talking shit about him for like weeks on her podcast. And he's like, why would I? And he blocked her on Insta and stuff. Um, James gets his ex fiance Rachel's dog for some reason. I don't really know. I was
Yeah,
like, this
yeah,
is
I saw
I'm
that.
bored.
I watched most of the first episode. But yeah, that was that's
Yeah,
a weird like that's a California thing though. That's like you don't have kids, but we will do dogs and animals. Like it's
right.
my dog, my dog Bear. I just gave him to my first wife. Like I was just like, he's your dog, you take care of him. I missed him. He was a great dog and
Hmm.
everything like that. And then found out the week before I went to Jersey, he passed away and nobody fucking told me. I was very sad.
No.
But um rest in peace, Bear. Love you, miss you, buddy. And but yeah, not that they're not like family members because they are like, and I miss Zoe too. I had to give Zoe away.
I had a Zoe dog too.
Yeah, it was the corgi, and I miss her and everything like that. But it's like it's an I don't know. It's an animal, and like you could always get a new one. I mean, it's like a child. I get it. You had like 16. Like my parents' dog, Remy, died recently, and it was sad because Remy was Madison's first dog, and Remy was around when Madison was around and stuff like that, and when Madison was born. So like it is sad, but it's like, dude, it's your ex. Why just give us the fucking dog? Just give us the dog.
Uh,
What the shit?
I mean, he got her like the dog had to be given up because his ex was in the mental facility because of all the people talking, calling her a home wrecker and a bitch and a twat and all this other stuff. So she's like, all these old people are yelling at me. I need to go to a facility.
And by
So
old people, she means people in her 30s because she's 20 something.
yeah, because she's like 20, she's like 27 and they're all like 40, like just
I was
turned 40.
I was
Like,
talking to this girl last night on TikTok Live, and her name is Breck on air, and she works at a radio station in Michigan. And she was like, "Yeah, we were talking about." She's like, "Yeah, when I was born, my mom was watching South Park," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, how fucking old are you?" She's like, "I'm 26," and I'm like, "Jesus, I remember before there was a South Park." I was like, "I feel fucking old,"
you
but I mean,
are. No.
yeah, I know. I am, and I'm gonna be a dad again. Well, let's do this, Brutus. But like,
Do it.
yeah, that's she's like the younger generation, and it's funny. It's so funny to watch because when I was a younger kid, and my boss would tell me something, and I'd go, "Oh yeah, when did you get married?" And he goes, 83. And I go, "Yeah, that's the year I was born." And then the next day was, "Go fuck yourself." So yeah,
Well,
no, and now I'm
what
41, and you hear old and like people born in the 1900s, and I'm like,
shut up. I know. Who said that? I think my son said that to me. He's like, "Oh, so you were born in the 1900s." I'm like, "Shut up." But he doesn't understand. He's 8. He doesn't know what that means.
no, no, he has no idea.
No. Well, no, I bring it up that like Raquel is younger because like people don't take into account in this whole situation that when she first started dating James, she was only 22. Like she dated James for 5 years and that was a very like emotionally abusive relationship. And like they got engaged and then they broke off the engagement. So by the time they broke off the engagement, she was all like 26. So she's like halfway through her 20s already,
Yeah.
you know? And then she's like, I'm gonna sell my wild oats now. And everyone's like, oh, look at her. She's being such a freak. And they're judging her. And I was like, you were just looking cookie like 3 seasons ago. What are you talking about? And you're gonna
Yeah.
get up on her shit?
Listen, a lot of people go through that. I mean, the Amish have their Rumspringer where they actually go out and get to do whatever the fuck they. Even the Amish knows that a young wild kid has to go do some shit before they finally fucking settle down. So, like, unfortunately for me, like I didn't. I kind of did that when I was with somebody, like when I was in my early 20s. Everybody can figure it out who it was. But like I did that like younger, and it wasn't that many, but a lot of people just fucking go crazy. Like Kelly. Kelly's like, I ran through like 100 dudes after I got out. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just run through and to be honest with you, I think for the most part, I think only women can do that. Because I don't think men can really, unless, come on, you have to
Oh
be
my God, they so do though. What the fuck are
who,
you talking about? You're
who,
lying,
who,
lying.
who?
The situation. We're talking about.
That man is, listen, that man was on drugs. You can't believe a word that man says. Dude, did you see that clip where the situation was talking about how he did one bump of heroin?
No.
And the way they made it out to be, I swear to you not, it was a clip on TikTok I saw, and it was about 2 to 3 minutes. And the way they framed it with the music on the episode, I swear to God, I thought he was gonna say he did gay porn for drugs. I swear to you not, that's the way they framed it. And when he went into the story about how he did it, and he was with Laura, I didn't know he was, dude, him and Laura, his wife, have been together forever.
Yeah,
They've been together forever. I had no
since
idea.
college. Yeah.
I didn't know that. When Jersey Shore, he was banging everybody he could in the show, you
Well,
know?
they were on a break at the time.
I guess so. But, like, he was talking about, like, banging like H and everything like that, and then he's like, "Yeah, and then I didn't have any more pain meds, and my friend's like, 'Here, try this,' and he gave me heroin, and I went to do one and I did one bump, and it didn't feel anything, and then, and then I didn't know what I was gonna do, and so I was thinking about it, and the whole time I'm thinking about, he's gonna go suck somebody off for it. He's gonna go suck somebody off for it. And he's like, yeah. And then I was about to do a second bump, and then my mom called, and Laura reached out for me, and I couldn't. And then and it was just like he didn't do it again because his mom called and Laura was there. He's like, and I thank God for that. And I'm like, listen, I'm glad you didn't do it. I'm glad, because heroin, they said, is the worst thing to do. But the way you came off was like you were about to suck some dick for some fucking painkillers. And I was like, oh no, the situation was sucking dick for painkillers. And it was just
Well, that's
no,
a situation right
because
there.
he looked like he would. He looked like he'd be like, yeah, listen, I
Maybe
may
for
have
a
done.
cannoli, but I don't know about drugs anymore. He's all
No,
about them foods.
yeah.
Gotta get my foods.
So yeah, so I get like being younger and like you said, she was put out. Was she on the show when she was 22? How old was she
Yeah,
when she? Yeah.
yeah, she was on the show. So Raquel got on the show right when she started dating James. She was still in college. She was she was graduating from college, and then they started dating and like moved in together, and she was on the show, and yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's just like I just feel like there's a lot of hypocrites around and that's going on in this whole thing. But so Lala is saying this season, saying that she's crying a lot because she's finally has the opportunity to deal with what happened with her baby daddy. You heard about him? Randall Emmons. I think
No.
all right, Randall, like he was a producer, like a movie producer, whatever, and was like doing like casting couch shit and like cheating on her, and they had a baby together. But then like you have like
Ocean, baby,
yes,
baby
but
Ocean.
then but like Lala was like dating him while he was married to another woman.
Hollywood's a
So
cesspool. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It really is a cesspool. And to not know what you're getting into in that type of situation is just
Yeah.
it's young naivety and willful
Yes.
ignorance. It really is.
Well, so during the whole like Scandival thing that was happening over last summer, I remember talking to you and I was like, I'm starting to get nervous that somebody's going to hurt themselves because it was getting so bad. The vitriol and everything was so bad that I was just like, I'm afraid that one of these two are going to hurt themselves. And then in one of the episodes, Tom Sandoval is talking to Lisa Vanderpump, talking about how he was in such a dark place where he thought about it, like, I might as well just like not be here on this planet. Like, I just better just like off myself. And And he actually talked about that too in one of his podcast episodes. And he had one of his bandmates there too. And they're like, we were really worried about him. Like it was bad. Like people were like constantly making sure that he was okay because of just how bad the vitriol and shit was. And so
Hey,
Katie,
hey,
she's just a bitch.
and I get it, you know. I mean, you just go. Listen, you go into dark places, especially when you have. I mean, I couldn't imagine
The whole
millions,
planet.
yeah, millions of people saying god awful shit about you. And
Yeah.
I mean, you have people like who are on TikTok who just make a comment, and some people just want to go off on them. But to have millions and papers writing about how much of a piece of garbage that you are,
And your
and
friends are making money
yeah,
off of you and talking shit about you.
and lying because Ariana lied point blank about Rachel, because she was saying that in the reunion episode, stating that nothing, she never reached out to her, and she absolutely
Oh
did,
yeah.
and she absolutely
Well,
did.
and here's the thing that in this season, everyone kept saying like he needs to apologize. Like he hasn't apologized for what he's done. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, how many times does this guy does this dude have to apologize? Like he apologized a lot, actually, that you've seen on camera too.
But
Like
the problem is that you don't make money off of that, and
right,
that's the
right.
shittiest part about it. It's like, you know, we talk about the mainstream media and how they just are fabricated with lies, and that's all they do. They lie all the time about everything, like Trump and the good people on both sides things. But the same thing can happen with reality stars. Like the news picks a side
Hmm.
and an agenda, and no matter how much you apologize, no matter how many times you say you regret it, no matter how many times you realize you've made an error, as long as they're making money out of it, they don't care about you. And once you don't make
Yeah.
them money anymore, then you become persona non grata,
And
and
that's
it
why I started getting nervous, like,
yeah,
over the summer. I was just like, "I this doesn't" like, at first, I was like, "Oh, shit," and then s after a while, it was just like, "Okay, this is, like, too far." And, what was is what's actually really like, funny, and to me, I think it's funny, but it's very interesting to see is now when you see stories about this whole Scandival thing or whatever coming up, and this has happened started happening a while ago. Like the tide is turning and people are like, all right, we're over it. Like we're done. Just like lay off, leave him alone. And they started actually turning on Ariana throughout the
good.
whole thing.
And then it'll be a
And
feminist,
I,
and then it'll be a
and
feminist thing.
well, and from the beginning, I was just like, but I don't know because Ariana, not my favorite.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And
But
so
it
this season, I was
she
like,
she what?
she's a bitch. She's just straight up like she's got the hugest chip on her shoulder, dude.
Because
I
the
was like,
whole world was on her side.
yeah, and I was like, bitch, you got cheated on. Like that sucks, but like that doesn't make you better than everyone else. And the thing is with Ariana though, this is a theme that has just I have seen it from the second that we saw her on TV. And I was just like, she's got this air of superiority about her that it rubs me the wrong way. And it has since the beginning. And this is actually something I just actually thought about this. And I was like, this is something that was actually reasons why she didn't get along with a lot of the girls in the earlier seasons, especially with like Stassi, because she had this like air of like, I'm better than all of you. What, you're working at a restaurant and I'm a bartender. Like it was weird. And but she still always had this little like, okay, I'm better than you
Yeah.
type of attitude. And I just hated it. And I wanted it to like her like a lot for so long. And like this happened and I saw her attitude and I was like, no, you lost me. You did.
Well, it's
You
like
lost me.
it's because yeah, she but also, like, when you have the entire world telling you that you're right and you have that attitude
Yeah.
and listen, not for nothing, but Sandoval fucking domed her completely. Domed her completely. When you have a girl like that, right? And
Mhm.
I'm going into a world that you have no idea about. When you have a girl like that and she's a bitch to everybody, but she'll like simp for him, he
Mhm.
completely domed her. And
Yeah.
like he could do whatever, and that's why he was doing whatever he wanted because she no matter what, she was
Mhm.
under. She would do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
And now he no longer is her dom and now she's just like fuck this dude and then the entire world tells her that she was right no matter what. No matter what
Mhm.
happened, the world told her she was right. He was a piece of garbage. So yeah, she's going to come off as I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that's given her an extra oomph of bitchiness.
Yeah,
And
it's just like this, like I said, it's like this superiority complex type attitude. Like I get like being a woman scorned type thing, but that doesn't mean it gives you license to be a bitch to other people. Like
well,
the way that she was towards Tom Schwartz, like she's basically cut him off, he's done, blah blah blah. And was like there's like one scene where he's inviting people to go to Lake Tahoe or whatever to see one of Lisa Vanderpump's new restaurants or whatever. And she's basically like, no one's gonna go with you type thing. And I was like, that's you're gross. And who he's like, just because you have all this, who made you queen of the group? No one's all and I was actually very proud of him for saying that. But he's also a little bitch too. But still. Anyway.
again, I guarantee you, Tom Sandoval could hit it again if he really wanted to. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. It's like one of those things where the girl you get out of a relationship and the girl's like, "Well, you had a small penis." I was like, "You fucking all right. Well, you
We've had
enjoyed it
this
for
conversation. He probably did.
yeah. Well, pencil, golf pencil,
That's
Tom." But still, like, you get to the point where you're just like, you want to tell everybody this, but if you think about it, then you're the problem. Because if you're gonna
Yeah,
simp over somebody who has a pencil, golf pencil, then that's your problem because you simped over somebody who had a golf pencil for how many years? And
yeah.
then you're going out and
I
telling everybody, that, and then you just go, well, and everybody's like, yeah,
but
he must have, because you're dumb.
I know. But I go back and forth, like, I get it, like, I get, like, holy shit, he did this to you, and for so long, he cheated on you like this, but she's just not likable, I can't. I want to, but I just can't. I
Well,
don't
that's,
everyone sucks. Like, honestly, I don't like a single person. They all suck.
I mean, it's a TV show, so,
It is.
it inflates their ego. Well, I mean, it kind of, because I want to try to get into
Oh,
the other thing.
yes. And let
Speaking of
me
like
just
women and independent women and
yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead.
And oh, so there's people that were actually on the show before, Jax Taylor and Brittany
Yeah,
Cartwright.
I saw
They
Jax
got
was coming
married.
back.
Yes, so they have a new show called The Valley coming out, I think, next week on the 8th, I believe. Well, now there's reports that Jax and Brittany have actually split up and they are um taking a break from their relationship. So
Don't do
I don't
reality
know what
TV,
that
folks.
don't even get me started with all that. Like,
It's a curse. Reality TV is a
well,
curse.
yeah, but it's also him and
It's
like
Jax.
he cheated on her with another girl. She had a recording of him saying that he just freaking hated Britney pretty much and that she was ugly and shit. And like she went back to them and like a year later they were married and it's just like
If you want to
he
be
said
happy
he's a
for the rest of your
cheater.
life,
He's
never make a
always been
pretty
a
woman your
cheater.
wife. If a personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. If you want to be happy. Yeah, I
That's
listen. I liked. I thought Jax was a great character, in the first
Oh,
season.
yeah.
And the whole Miami girl thing, where did he, didn't he, did he, didn't he, did he, didn't, was great. But I mean, the dude's the dude's a wild man. The dude is a wild.
He's like 50.
I know. That's the funny part about it. He's acting like he's 27. He's 50. He's so.
He was like 40 when it started, when the whole season started.
know.
He was like 32 or something like that. I
No,
remember because I'm the same age, or like around the same age as all these people, and I was working in the restaurant industry when I first started watching it too. So I was like, these are my people, right? And so I watched it, and I'm like, y'all need to. If I did that, I get fired.
You make the
Yeah.
Lord very, very nervous.
Yes.
But I mean, but there's on a lot of this stuff though, like all these girls want to be these independent women, right? And they want to, be independent and for themselves, but then they glom onto these guys, and then you kind of can't have it both ways, I guess. I mean, you can, but you can't. But then you get women who want to be independent women, and the media has screwed women up. I'm sorry, I'll say it. The media has screwed women up completely because they go on and they believe what they say. You got to be independent. You got to make your own money. You don't need no man. No, blah 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 blah. Biology and your insides. A man needs a woman, and a woman needs a man, no matter what you say. Because if
the way the words were like on the insides, you need a man. I'm like,
well, no, like your inside, your emotions, your feelings, your
I know what you mean.
Like, you need a man on the inside sometimes. A man needs to never.
Yes,
anyway,
you said that, and I was just like,
sometimes a girl just needs
like that?
Sometimes a girl just needs another girl to eat her cookie, and then she feels good. Okay.
Yes. No.
But then you get confused. You get confused sometimes, and you end up like this woman, who, I mean, I'll just play the video. I'll play the video. I'm not going to say anything before I play the video. I'm just going to let everybody see this video.
Men who watch alpha male podcasts be like, women aren't in their feminine energy anymore. Yeah, because you don't make enough to provide for us anymore. So we have to get out there in the workforce and be masculine. Y'all don't realize it works both ways. Also, I've never heard a man complaining about a woman taken advantage of unless he doesn't have enough to be taken advantage of in the first place. So let's be real here. The chicken or the fucking egg? Because I would love to be a fucking stay-at-home wife. I would love to flourish in my feminine energy and be a submissive. But no, I have to go to fucking work every day and come home stressed. So I don't have any fucking feminine energy left.
Like, you wouldn't be stressed
being
care of me because
none of you make enough. None of you make more than I do. So let's be real. Men who watch.
So she starts off hot and heavy with men who watch and listen to masculine podcasts or shows.
Alpha male podcast.
And then she goes into that she would love to be in her feminine energy, but she has to work. I'm sorry. You can't be in your feminine energy and work at the same time.
No.
Like,
it's like when they said that perpetuating whiteness was like being on time. It doesn't make fucking sense.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then she goes on to say how men ain't shit because she makes more money than them.
Yes.
And they don't have enough money to provide her with,
because she's stressed
to stay at home. Like, so first of all, what didn't feminists fight for equality? Isn't that what the suffragette movement was about? Equality? No. And no?
No.
Please educate me then.
Fuck men. That's what it was about.
No, I didn't say the new feminist movement. I didn't say third wave feminism. I said the suffragette movement, the first wave.
Yeah, they wanted to vote. That was the first wave feminists. They wanted to vote. That was it.
Yeah.
Actually, and it is true that there was an anti suffragette movement at the time, because if to have the right to vote back then, you also had to be a part of like the voluntary fire department or something.
You had to own land.
And
that's why. Yeah, you had to be a landowner.
And there's like other civic duties and stuff that you had to do that a lot of women didn't want to do. But whatever. I mean, I enjoy my right to vote, but then it just kind of went into spiraled into this whole thing like burn your bras, men suck. Like, no, you have to provide me everything. As I say, I'm a girl boss.
Yeah.
I seen it with my brothers. Like, my brothers are younger than me, and they've had girlfriends in the past that were like, I'm a girl boss. I do what I want. Give me money so I can get my nails done.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me? No.
Well, I have another enchanting video from this woman.
Look, being a housewife sounds like the best gig there is out there. I've been an independent woman for 12 years. I've done it. I've had an extremely stressful job. And you know what? It's my time to flourish in my feminine energy, which to me, I recently was talking to a man. I was like, in order for me to really flourish in my feminine energy and be a mom to your children, I want to be a stay-at-home mom and have a maid. And if that's too much for me, or if I'm stressed or, I
saw your eyes cross. Say it with your chest. Come on.
That's part of your job.
I'm glad you said it.
Sit around eating bonbons all day? Like, what the fuck do you think stay-at-home wives and like do? Like, it's not like you're marrying like a millionaire, like a normal stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home wife. What the fuck do you think they do?
Well, I mean, hold on really quickly. Let me go back to really quick because I want to.
Feeling burnout in any type of way, we also are going to get a nanny. And he agreed to it and said, I make enough money to.
That's where I wanted to stop.
What are you going to do?
Nothing.
I can't.
She wants a maid.
I'm starting to get red. I can feel it.
I did this on
purpose.
Because you are the realest woman, one of the realest women I know. Okay. And that's one of the things I love about Amanda too. She's real.
Stay-at-home mom. I was out in the workforce too, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. After I had my first son, I could not, like, for the life of me. I also had postpartum afterwards too. I had postpartum depression afterwards. There is no way I could have left him. I could not. There's no way. Emotionally, I wouldn't have been able to function. And we've moved a lot, so it's not really like I was just like, if I got a job, I'd be like, see ya in like a year. Yeah. But yeah, no, this is just weird. All right.
No, I want you to counter what she's saying because I know you're a stay-at-home mom, and I know you've been in both industries, but this girl is talking about she wants a man to take full-hearted, and she doesn't want to be stressed out. Like, who the fuck wants to be stressed out? Who? And not for nothing. Like, you don't want to be stressed out to the point where you don't even want to take care of your own kids.
Right.
So you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you want a maid and a nanny. So what are you going to do?
Right.
So
what are you going to become a member of the DAR or something? I don't know.
Different things in life come with different kind of stresses. Like, okay, so you don't go to work. Now you have to deal with the stresses at home, with the kids and everything like that. And there's always a job to be done.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do? Like, listen, I'm not gonna judge by her looks and the way she looks, but what do you want to do? Just stay at home and probably fuck other guys? Is that what you want? Do you want to just go out with your girls and just?
The pool boy needs some love too.
I guess so. She might get a fucking male nanny. You never know. Like
a manny. Yeah.
to take care of you, and that's perfectly fine. And I told him that's the only way that I would have children, because I really don't want kids. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, I've experienced enough stress.
So you don't want kids. So you just want to lay down for a man, let him inseminate you, and you just want to be a baby factory. Is that what?
Math ain't
Both
math.
professionally and personally, that I deserve for my life to be completely just a life of leisure. I deserve to be taken care of. I deserve to not have to stress all the time. And, you know, finding a man that wants to give that to me is like the sexiest thing in the world. Also, I will say that there's the flip side of this.
It's the guys that are watching the Alpha Male podcast. That's what you want, girl.
Thank you. You said it. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let you say it. You're exactly right. The guys who she's criticizing are the guys that are going to do this for her.
Yeah. Little
You're
string
not gonna-
bean having a soy latte ain't going to do shit for you. He's
No.
going to go Dutch on a bill. Like, come on.
She is telling people that she wants the people that she doesn't want. I'm not going to put that on here. But yeah, it's I got to play more.
Being a housewife also means that you literally have no way of escaping your husband, because you are going to now have a gap in your resume. You're not going to have any money to your name. And a man a lot of times will use those things to control you and keep you in an abusive situation. So there's also the flip side of that. I'm talking about.
Why don't you do a Fani Willis and hide money? Shit, that's what I do.
Listen, I have another clip. It's an "Am I the Asshole" that I'm going to play after this. Oh boy.
Okay. Like I get that. Like my mom instilled in me, always make sure you're able to take care of yourself, right? You don't want to have to depend on a man, this, that, whatever. And if she's worried about that, that's what a prenup is for. Get it out in terms, just in case, you fuck up or something. The pool boy's looking good, and you're just like, well, it's in the contract there. At least I get $50K, something like that.
Yeah.
Put it in there. It's called a negotiation.
But
if you want to be a strong, independent woman, like you're talking about, but having yourself being taken care of by a man, and you're a smart woman that's in a stressful job, you got to think you obviously thought this through. You just need to scratch a layer deeper. Like, you really got to think about this. You can even Gone Girl him. I got the pens for you and shit and everything.
There's no further thought. There's no outside the box thinking. Because look, this is the next video.
And be like, all women want is money. No. We want a man to do life with.
That's not what you said 2 videos ago.
No, that's
not even what you said the last video.
This is what happens when someone hasn't had an honest conversation with themselves and really wrote it down and thought it out. And this is just like off the cuff, but trying to stay in that whole like.
Or has an honest conversation with anybody else. It's the honest conversation with themselves, but also like getting rid of the little prickles of feminism that's still ingrained in her DNA right now, that she's been taught. Like, it happens to all of us. But she has, but I guarantee you, she has people around her that validate her thinking. She has people around her that'll say, "Yeah, no, girl, you do you. That's what you need. You do you. That's exactly what you need." And she doesn't have an honest conversation with anybody who says, "Hey, what you're saying is a little contradictory. What you're saying kind of doesn't make sense." So it's either you want the guy who listens to the Alpha Male podcast, or you don't. Because if he doesn't, he's not going to give you everything you need. He's not going to be out there, working his ass off until the point of almost death for you to do what you want to do.
Right.
So like, she's stuck in her bubble of just, this is what it is and this is what she thinks it is.
Well, but the thing
And
is like from what she said, she wants the life of luxury. She said she deserves it, right? She deserves to be taken care of. And then in the same note, being like, but she wants someone to do life with. Okay, well then that's a converse like that. Then it grinds my gears because like a lot of times like you have that conversation with your partner. You could say like, "This is what I want," whatever. And if you sound like that, you sound like an idiot because you're just like, "I want this," but it's like we're not in a utopia or anything like that. Like it's a give and take everything. You're gonna have to work for it somehow.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something to earn something. That's what I'm trying to teach Spencer. Like, dude, everything comes with like there's nothing free. Like anytime anybody tells you something for free, they're lying. They're lying to you. When the government tells you they're gonna give you something for free, it's paid for by the taxpayer. So it's not free. You're eventually paying for it, at
or there's
one
a
point.
trade-off some way or another. Yeah.
Want our hearts protected. We want someone to support us on our hardest days and our best days.
Which is
that's why you have
and love us. And y'all can't do that. Y'all, I don't know what kind of like y'all need therapy. Need some therapy because to be honest.
Okay. That's what she said before, right? Next video.
Honest, all I want is someone to pay half my rent so I can go on vacation. Okay. That's all I want.
So she wants,
be honest, all I want is someone to pay half my rent.
She wants a sugar daddy and a therapist. Why doesn't she date a therapist and have him be her sugar daddy at the same time?
Do you understand why men are going out of the country to find women now? Do you understand why they have these things called passport bros, where men are going out of the country to find a traditional wife and bring them back to the country?
Is that why 90 Day Fiance is so popular?
Yes. Yes. By the way, I didn't know a traditional wife was called a trad wife. Now it's called a trad wife for traditional wife. And I'm like,
Trad, are you from trad?
But it's just,
I don't get it. Why is it called trad?
Trad,
Oh, okay, traditional because you can't say traditional. Like,
because
what does that mean? What does that mean? Being a trad? So would I be considered a trad wife?
Yeah, just a traditional wife, a wife that stays home, cooks for the husband, cleans. A wife where people who love each other and care about each other. The way they take care of things.
Okay, hold on. I got a question, Amanda. I hope you're listening because I got a question for you. Who does the laundry in your household?
That's a different question because we have somebody who lives downstairs that doesn't pay for anything in the house, and one of the conditions is that he does the laundry. Her brother lives with us. Her brother lives with us. So, but when neither of us,
neither one of us. Okay.
But when it comes down to it, like, and later on, it will be a more of a, one of us will take care of it, or most likely I'll take care of it because she works at night, and then when I come home, I'll take care of it or whatnot. It's just downstairs for the most part. But yeah, and I'm going to teach Spencer how to do his own laundry so he can do his laundry, and so like it's. So so where were you going?
No, I asked this question because the way that I grew up, it was always the wife that does all the laundry. I didn't know that there were people out there, that there were stay-at-home moms out there who had husbands that did their own laundry. I was like, wait, what? That's a thing?
My dad used to do his own laundry. Like literally, my dad had his own hamper for his clothes only. And he would do his own laundry, and he would wake up like 2 hours early before work and iron his clothes. And yeah, my dad would do that.
I don't know if it's just like a little OCD thing in me, but I cannot let my husband do the laundry. No.
See, but yeah, like she said, we
let
both
him fold nothing. No, you could put your shit away. That's it. But no, because I just can't. I'm like, you're doing it all wrong.
Well, see, that's
it doesn't work like that.
We both fold the laundry. Love you too, buddy. We both fold the laundry, and when we fold the laundry, like I'll put her stuff aside because I don't know where she wants to put it, and she'll put my stuff aside because she didn't, would She doesn't know where I want my stuff put because I have a thing with like I can't, and we were talking about this, like I can't have a maid. I really can't because I don't want somebody else putting my shit where I don't know where I can't find my shit half the time as it is. So
Mhm.
if I have somebody putting away my shit, like, and I'm looking for it, like the maid is gonna have to live with us because she's gonna have to get my clothes out for me. Like I don't, I can't. I have to know where everything is. And like I said, even when I do put shit away, I don't know where it is. And I go, oh, this where the shirt is. I put it like I have my shit. I'm like, oh, I put it away. This is why I don't put things away because I don't know where I put them, even though they belong. Like you hang up your keys and where are your keys? I don't know. I can't find them. They're on the key ring.
That's the
Oh,
guy thing. That's just a guy thing.
but you know, dudes have been doing the whole flip-flop thing for years. They want a woman to work, but also take care of them at home. They want babies, but don't want women to complain about the breath. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not
Mhm.
you're not wrong. I mean, I'll
I
take
did a
care of them.
flip a rooski though with my husband before we got married. I was like, listen, I'll make all the money. You just stay home. And he was like, absolutely. And it
Abs-
started out that way. I was making money, blah blah. Then Flipperooski happened. I had the son. I was like, I can't go back. I just can't leave him.
I
And
couldn't.
he's like, you promised. And I was like, I lied.
Listen, I couldn't, and
We
and
never
I give
did our vows.
I give women all the credit in the world for being able to do that. Like I couldn't. Like I couldn't stay at home with the kids. I know that. I know like I could take time and take the kids there, but I could not constantly stay
Yeah.
home with the kids because it would just I would turn I would turn into a schnatzi. We have to stay home and raise kids, but then you complain we do nothing all day. Hey,
Yeah. No,
I don't.
anytime. Okay. He learned quick never to say that to me. I'm like, nothing. Okay. And then I did the whole laundry list of shit that he has no idea about. And I was like, if I died, you're fucked. You have no idea what's going on. And he's like,
Listen,
and never said it ever again. I was like, yeah,
first
never
first
say
of all,
that
I better get an apology pretty soon, and you better not be fucking talking about me, madam. That's all I know.
to
We have to have children birth, but can't be fat after. I don't. I want to know who the fuck she's talking about. That's all I want to know because she ain't talking about me.
Oh
I
no, but no, it's a lot of pressure that women put on themselves from other women though too.
yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are the worst with each other. Women are the worst because you're sitting there and you're like, no, I don't want. I do the makeup for me, and I don't do it for anybody else. Really, really. And then when you go out and women are like, look at that dress. That doesn't. That's not a cute dress on her.
All right, that to a point. There's a point in a woman's life. It doesn't happen to all of us, but it happens to the select few who are graced with this gift called I don't give a fuck anymore. And when that happens, it is the best thing that could ever happen to you in your entire life. Before, you would be upset if you forgot to put on mascara. And then you come home and you're like, oh, whatever. And it just happens. It's the best ever.
I'm trying to find that "Am I the Asshole" clip because this clip is insane. Because it's basically this woman. If I can't find it, but I'll just give you the gist. We have to pay for half the bills, but also come home, cook, clean, raise kids, and have time for you in bed at night. Only recently have men realized that women are superheroes. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Mm-hmm.
we've come a long way. We've come a long way in this, but if I can't find it, I'll be so mad. But basically, the "Am I the Asshole" is this woman decided that her and her husband made the agreement that he was going to stay home, and her
Mm-hmm.
mother had taught her that she needed an escape fund. So every paycheck, she would put money in the bank in her own account, and the husband, didn't think of anything of it. He let her handle the bills, let her handle everything, and the man was like working his ass off, and then I think he he lost his job, and in the interim, she picked up a job, and then he got another job, and then he started working another job, and then he told her that she can quit her job, so she didn't have to stay at the part-time job. And he was literally working to death, to the point where, like, at one point they didn't have any money. He didn't have any money, so he picked up another job, and they were getting back into it, and he was like, "What would you think if we downsized? Because I can't afford it." And she went, "Absolutely not." And he was like, "Well, I don't. We are miserable for 3 weeks out of the month, and we still have our shit done. But old white dudes still don't trust us to make our own choices over our own bodies." All right, I'm ranting. I'll stop now.
Do you count because you're Puerto Rican?
No.
Nah, you're passing.
Anyway.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall tonight.
I don't know. Hold my. You can be a fly on the wall you want. I'm gonna lock myself in the fucking studio and not come out of it and see how she likes it. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so the guy basically worked his ass to death, and when she asked him to downsize, he said absolutely not. And
well, no, he asked her to downsize,
yeah,
or
he asked her to downsize because he couldn't afford it. I don't think they had kids at all either. And then she came out to him and was like, "Well, I have a bank account, and it has $47,000 in it of his own."
Ooh.
Oh, that was it. No, he started looking into the bills to see where they can cut, and he noticed that weekly deposits were leaving of a certain amount. And she said, "Well, I started out taking a lot of money, and then I started to cut down when we weren't able to afford things." And she took $47,000 of the money that he made. Not one penny that she made. All the money was from his account. And he was pissed, and he left. And they were talking, and she said, "Well, see, this is why I did that, is because I don't know what's going to happen now, because now I'm going to be on my own because you're going to leave me. And so, that's why I did this." And it was like, you fucking did this. This was you. The guy, at one point, I think they said in the thing that he went to the hospital because he almost killed himself working so much. He almost died working so much.
She is the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my, okay, because here's the thing. He had no idea about this account whatsoever.
No.
And they're married.
No.
Yeah, she's the asshole. I'm sorry. Like, it's a partnership. I mean, like, my husband knows that I have a secret stash. He doesn't know where, and he doesn't know how much. But he trusts me enough to know that, like, well, most of the time, if I do use it, it's for the family. But I like having a little.
Yeah, which is fine.
I squirrel shit away, which is fine.
Yeah, it's fine if it's going to be used for the family.
But if you're in dire straits and like your husband's working himself to death, like you're talking about downsizing, and you're like, I'm not going to give any of this money up. Like that, dude. That's shitty. Like that's your partner.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of women want nowadays. Like she put $47,000 away. That wasn't even her money. Wasn't even her money. And I'm going to say it wasn't even her money because it wasn't. It was their money.
Yeah.
It was their money, not her money.
He should have known.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm myself, I'm the same way, because I wouldn't even know, if I didn't control most of the money, and I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't be able to be just like, okay, I'd be like, if you're going to control the money, okay, you control the money. I'm not going to pay attention. Just do whatever you got to do. And I'm going to take X amount of dollars, a paycheck for me, and then do whatever you got to do with the rest of the money, and make sure, I don't want to hear rent's not paid. I don't want to hear the bills aren't paid. The water's going to be shut off, this and that and this and that. Because if we're having an issue, have the conversation with me. and then we'll figure it out together, you know.
Mhm.
But for you to put away a total of $47,000,
Mm-mm.
and when I come to you and go, "Hey, we're really fucked. Like, I
Yeah.
can't do this anymore." Um, and for you to go, "Oh, here it goes," and then not expect me to be upset and just be like, "See,
Yeah.
my mom is
That's
right."
the
That's what she said. She said, I told him, "See, my mom was right." Like, you
how
fucking
how old
created.
how old is she?
I think they're in their late 20s. I think they're in their late 20s. But, like,
It feels like okay, I know when I got married, it took a long time for me to differentiate it's not your money and it's not my money, it's our money.
mhm,
Like and like doing that full like this is us, our we are a partnership, we are together. Like it took a while for me to understand like what that meant, you know? Like, it's not and it's like, I think a lot of times in the relationships and stuff, in the relationships you've been in a long time, like, sometimes it's like you feel like you're combating each other, but, like, you're not. Like, you have to be together. It's not like you
yeah,
versus them. It's like you're
yeah,
not separate people, you're, like, one people and have to, like, make sure that your life is together.
and I get it, like, some people are just used to doing whatever they can, and they're and they have, like, issues talking about it, but,
Mhm.
it just there's a point where, especially if you're in a marriage, especially if you've been like enough to save $47,000. So you've obviously known each other
Yeah.
for a long time. So you got to have that conversation eventually and nip it in the butt and not let it get to the point where the person is almost dying
Y
to provide for you with as
right.
much as possible. Like, so, like, and I get it. I get not being able to trust somebody, but if you could trust somebody enough to get married to them or have a child with them or live with them,
Mhm.
there's gotta be some kind of a trust in there. Like, you trust, like, how do you tell somebody that you live w like, how do you not have a conversation about it with somebody you, like, live with? You know what I mean? Like, you
Mhm.
trust somebody enough in your bed, but, "Hey, I trust you in my bed with my family, but I don't trust you with my money." It's like it's it's kind of a weird, like, it's kind of a weird thing to say and do, and I get it, but, like,
Mhm.
there's gotta be a point where you have to, like, sit down and kinda have, like, a conversation, like, "Okay, well,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing. This is what, um, what it is." And like I said, I get it. It's hard to talk to somebody about certain things, but eventually you have to.
Well, and in this and especially in this instance, like, where you're literally in dire straits,
Yeah,
your partner is killing themselves, and you've been selfish.
yeah,
You weren't thinking about your partner at all, you're just thinking about, like, when is the next shoe gonna drop?
mhm,
You know? And, like, that's the part that it's just kind of like you see him killing himself and you're just like, "No, I'm still gonna take some more money out of this account and just put it here, and I'm not gonna use it for us. I'm not gonna do." I secretly had taken money out of my husband's paychecks for years. He had no idea, no clue. I don't know how
yeah,
it happened, but I ended up taking control of all the but I would take money out of his paycheck and I would put it in our joint savings account every month. It didn't matter if we were in good times, bad times, whatever financially. I always made sure that like at least something was coming out of his stuff and put into save. He had no idea for years. He's
well,
like, "Oh, how did this get to be where it was?" Because I made sure that there was a direct deposit here instead of just there. You know,
well,
that's like something, but doing it to have it selfishly for yourself
yeah,
and not be like $47,000. The guy is like, "Hey, we need to downsize. We need to do this, that, and the." I did. That's like,
yeah.
mm-mm. That's not that's I don't like
that's
who hurt her? Like
uh,
honestly, it's to the point where it's just like what was she thinking was going to happen?
but and I'll tell you from the guy's point of view, it makes us feel like you don't really care, you don't really love us. You know,
Well,
and
it's
it
almost
should
like why does he have to suffer and pay for all your shit while you can sit comfortably if something goes downhill?
yeah,
And it's like it's it, for because it reminds me of that lady that we were just watching
yeah.
and stuff too. It's like kind of like wanting to have your cake and eat it too type of situation. Like, and that's why I hate the whole boss babe shit. Because I'm like, yeah, because she's like, like there was like people like, I'm a boss babe, but I need my man to pay for all my shit. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not what a boss babe does, right? Like you take care of yourself. You don't need a man type thing. But then
You
you
know what a real
expect it at the same time. Like
you know what a
I
real
can't.
boss babe does? What a boss babe does is when you're at dinner, she throws the credit card down. When you're at dinner, she'll pay for half of it. When you go out, she pays for it. When she asks you to go on a date, you know, and then doesn't expect you to pay. That's what a boss babe does. And you know, and a lot of times the guys will be like, no, you're not doing that. I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I'm gonna go do my hair. I'm gonna get my nails done. And if he offers to pay for you, that's fine. But if you say I'm gonna go get it done and he doesn't offer to pay for you, that's not his
You shouldn't
problem.
expect
That yeah,
him to
that
do it.
yeah, you're not a boss babe. You're just a fucking you're you're a third wave feminist
Yeah.
for the most part. And you want to be something, but like I said, these things that are going on now in our modern society, it's not about equality. It's about
Mm-mm.
I say it all the time. It's not about equality, it's about privilege. It's like you want the privilege. You know, and then you talk about like my wonderful old lady said, all these old white men telling us what we could do with our bodies. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it. In the past, yes, the country was dominated by old white men. Okay. But we've come a long way from it. And it's not just men who are telling people what they can't do with their bodies. It's women also. There are a lot of women who don't want women to have abortions or have the choice. So yeah, I'm sorry that the whatchamacallit, the stereotypical Nazi is is whatchamacallit, is Hitler, but there's a lot of different kinds of Nazis out there nowadays. I mean, so just because the old white man is the stereotypical, there's a lot of people who don't want you to do shit today. There's a lot of black men, there's a lot of black women, there's a lot of women. There's a lot of people who don't want you to do anything, and that's what like don't tell me what to do with myself. The laws are there to protect you from doing illegal shit. You shouldn't be able to tell me what I do with my body. Okay? You shouldn't be able to tell me what I do with my life. If when I want to own a firearm, if I want to own 5,000 firearms, it's not your right to tell me I can't. If I want to and if I want to as an adult chop my wiener off, there's no you shouldn't be able to tell me that I can't. If I want to chop my arm off, you can't tell me as an adult that I can't. As a child, different story. But, you know, it's we've come a long way in the way we as a society have grown, but people just want to look at the old ways and just want somebody to blame, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to stop stop telling people what to do, and two, we have to stop blaming the past for what's happening in the future. Because if we continue to do that, it's cyclical. Um, this chick on TikTok says it best, Facebook Messenger. Best friend. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can bring it up. She sent me an article Best Buy will stop selling Blu-ray DVDs in 2024 from MSN, from CNBC. And then let me see if I can find, because I think I saw that TikTok that she sent me. Random. Okay. Mhm. Come on. What are we doing? Why are we messing up like this?
Oh, don't worry. Society expects plenty from women. We're expected to age gracefully, but never let ourselves go, work like we have no children, and parent like we have no job. They'll call the stay at home mother unfulfilled, but the working mother selfish, all while childless women are considered incomplete. Go chase that career, but never at the expense of a family. Think like a man if you want to be successful, but don't act like one if you want to be liked. We're supposed to mother our husbands, but never treat them like children, and put out on demand, but demand respect. Married and miserable is better than single and happy. Don't stay with an abusive man, but never break up your family. Don't marry a bum for love, but don't stay with a successful man for security. Don't be dependent on a man for money, but don't emasculate them by earning more. They'll tell us to embrace our sexuality, but have some self respect, and to care about our appearance, but stop looking for attention. Just say no, but let him down easy. Be aware of your surroundings, but stop being so dramatic. Practice self love, but don't love yourself too much. Dream big, but stay small. And would you like me to keep going?
She's not wrong.
No.
She's not wrong, and that's what society is like. But on the same token, there's a totally different, and men are this, and if you think about it, it's the same thing for men. Is the same thing,
Yeah.
But
Yes, and I mean, I would say yes and no, but but it's different. There's a different expectation on men, but the thing is that the mentality of men and women are completely different.
Mhm.
Like, why? Like, men going into a group with other men isn't as contentious as a woman going into a group with other women. And
example,
it's
I'll give you an example. Survivor.
what do you mean?
You remember when the women won that challenge and got to go have Thanksgiving dinner? And the
Mhm.
women were all like, "Yay, yay!" And the guys had a boys' day where they were just fucking hunting and fishing and just talking about
And
farts
farting.
and farting
Yeah.
and having a good time and all this stuff. And then the following episode, the men won the challenge, and the women were by themselves, not at the place where with all the stuff. And they were literally sitting there. One of the girls goes, "I don't. What do we even talk about? Like, what do we do?" And then they started talking about that thing that they give them that says Survivor and different ways to put it on
Mhm.
and stuff. And they were like, they were miserable. They were absolutely miserable because they didn't win. And so if you think
Yeah.
about the way men and women think, that is a perfect example.
And I've thought about this before because um I don't know how I'm going to say this. Like, I don't if it's like a mentality thing of something that's just inherent or if it's been learned. You know what I mean? Like if it's a nature versus nurture type thing.
To be
Um
honest, I think it's nature. To be honest with you, I think it's a nature thing. I think men just have this
yeah.
men cavemen
It's easy
mentality.
it's easier for men to
Mhm.
have friendships, in my experience, than it is, and from what I've observed, than it is for women, or it could just be me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Like
I
I feel like it's like because I can just even see it like with like even like relationships with people that I have within my own family. It's like between seeing the relationships the guys have compared to the women, it's completely different. Like the guys, they don't have to talk. Like they could just see each other like twice a year and everything's like nothing's ever changed and they're all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you have your relationship with the women, it's like if you guys don't talk all the time and then you get together, sometimes it's just like, well, why didn't you talk to me? Hmm? You know, it's different. I don't know. I don't know what it is or why. You know, like it just it just is.
You know, you can put the thing in the chat too, so I can click on the chat instead of having I
This
can't
is
do the messenger into here.
I don't know.
Uh,
I have a random thing.
what?
Okay. I want to know if there has ever been a study or an article or anything done that showed if there's any correlation between MK Ultra in Northern California and the amount of serial killers there were between the 1960s and 1980s. Random. I was watching part of a documentary about like it's like My Grandpa Jim or something like that on like HBO or whatever. It's like about this guy Jim and like talking about how he's creepy and like how in Northern California was like what had the most prevalent like amount of serial killers and a lot of serial killers were on the West Coast when it came to the late 60s to the 80s. Okay. And we do know at the time MK Ultra was happening around that time. And also around that same time is Laurel Canyon, where they had all the bands and stuff come up, the experimentation with LSD, and then there was this huge uptick in the number of serial killers. You had the Night Stalker, the Ted Bundy, and I don't know, there's like another one in California, but there are like
Zodiac
a
killer.
majority of them were on the West Coast.
Hmm.
And they had one, I know for sure, in San Francisco is called Operation Midnight Climax that happened in San Francisco where they would use LSD and different types of things on unwitting participants. But that had a lot to do with prostitution and sexual shit. But they were doing like experiments on people.
Hmm. I don't know. That's it. Well, we should look into that because I
I
think,
know.
like,
Well,
thinking about it, you're not wrong. But I think, but then again, how many? I mean, if you watch Investigation Discovery, I've seen in the last couple of years, a lot of people are in Kansas that kill people too. It's like this Kansas, that Kansas, Iowa, this, Iowa, that, and like all these unsolved mysteries that nobody ever really talked about. So I don't know.
well, you also need to know though that they did a lot of these experiments on people who were in prison too. Whitey Bulger came out and said that he was part of the MK Ultra as well.
Yeah, you know, you might. They do a lot of
I
crazy
feel
stuff.
like I'm on to something because I started reading Whitney Webb's book One Nation Under Blackmail, and the first few chapters of it talks about the connection between the government, CIA, like different types of things, and the mafiosos, not only in the United States but across the world, like in Italy and in China and stuff, and like the opium market and everything and
Hmm.
bringing it from there over to the United States. And it's all around the same time that all the shit is happening.
Huh. Maybe I gotta download the audio version of it. All right. Well, we're
Telling
almost
you.
we're at an hour and a half, so let's play this scene really quickly.
Okay.
Like, we have to always be extraordinary. But somehow we're always doing it wrong. Like you have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old. Never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault.
That's motherhood.
Listen, like I said,
It's called
not,
mom guilt.
yeah. Listen, she's not wrong. She's not wrong, but it's, and I put it back again. It's a lot of the mainstream media telling these women that they have to be this, and it's a lot of. And I'm gonna say it's boys, not men. Okay,
Mhm.
because boys think that way. Men don't. Men will do what they have to. Men will understand that it's not always the woman's fault. A man will understand that they have pressures and they have to be able to sometimes lash out. And they're not lashing out on them. They're just lashing out, period, because they have a lot to take in. Women are very empathetic to the entire world. And I'm mansplaining right now, but I'm doing it from a guy's point of view. Or a man's point of view. Like, we understand that, women want to look pretty and feminine, but they don't have to. They don't have to always look pretty and feminine. This is why in Bill's live, Bill was, looking for a girlfriend, and they were like, "Yeah, send pictures in Snapchat." And I went, "Send pictures to Bill, but send your morning picture. Send the picture when you just wake up. Send the picture when you just took a shit. Right after you took a shit. Right after, you just got out of the shower.
While you're on the toilet.
While you're on the toilet, but we don't want to see the toilet." Like, a man doesn't care what a woman looks like. A man cares how a woman feels. A man cares that the man wants the woman to be equal. Yeah. Is she going to complain? Yeah. Are you going to complain? Yeah. But both of yous have to look at it from, they're not ranting about them. They're ranting about somebody else or some other thing. And understand that both of you are going to feel that way. Both of you are going to feel like nobody's
Mhm.
listening. And that's why communication is a giant thing. Communication is a thing that you have to kind of put your feelings aside when you're communicating to each other, and know that they're coming sometimes out of frustration and you're coming out of sometimes out of frustration. And if you can,
And sometimes we don't want you to fix it. We just want you to listen.
and that's a
Fucking hate
huge,
it.
yeah.
And that's one of those conversations that you go, listen, I just need to bitch and complain, or I just need to vent. I don't need you. I need you to say, oh man, that sucks. And I need you to get in this with me. Okay.
and that's, and to be honest with you, to be 1,000% transparent, that's one of the things I had to learn. And that's one of the things that I learned while I was that 4 months that I was by myself, is I had to learn that you can't always make somebody happy. You can't always fix the things for them. And it's a double-edged sword with that, because women on the, they said, they don't want to mother you, but they don't want another kid. So they don't want to tell you I'm just gonna bitch and complain, just listen to me, because then they feel like they're mothering you. But sometimes, honestly, if you just have that, like, "Hey, listen, I don't mean this towards you. I need to bitch and moan and rant for a second," and then have that conversation. That little, like, side note will go a long way. And it's not like it's not like you have to mother them. It's just one of those things where communicating, this is I'm just gonna I don't want you to fix this. Because that's what I was. I was one of those, "This is broke, I'm gonna do what I can to fix it. I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna fix it, and then she's gonna love
Yeah.
me because I fixed it." And it came to a point where it was just like I fixed it, and it was just like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "Well, I fixed it. Love me." "No, I didn't want you. I'm not gonna love you because you fixed it. But I fixed it." "Well, I didn't want you to, and it's broke, and it's never gonna go back to the way it was before." And it's like, fuck. It's
Hmm.
like, fuck, and by the time you have that conversation, it's irrevocable. And so, it's, it's a men are from Mars, was women are from Venus kind of thing. Do you need a hammer or a tissue? A tissue is for ranting and a hammer is for fixing.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
like they go up to be like, all right, tissue or hammer, and then like you can have that
But
conversation. I
but
love it.
do you see how easy that is?
Yes.
Do you see how easy that is? That is a completely I told Amanda today, like, because I have a thing where as a kid, my parents got my sister everything. So I got to a point where I would just go, fuck it. If I want it, I'm gonna make enough money, I'm gonna buy it. And I said to her today, I go, listen, if I'm saying I want something, right? And you plan on buying it and don't want me to buy it, just say plan. Simple. Just say plan.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna know what it is. I'm not just say plan because I don't want to go ahead and ruin something because I'm like I said, that's my mindset. I've gotten to the point in my life where if I want it, I'm gonna make the money, I'm gonna do what I have to do, and I'm gonna buy it.
Do you feel like that kind of happens though, like as you've gotten old, like as you get older, like stop like buying me things, like because I can just get it
No,
myself,
I
and it
know,
just
but
feels weird.
but to be honest with you, I like to get gifts. I like to give gifts and I like to get gifts. Like, because it makes you think that even it's the smallest, like this, right? Even
Uh-huh.
in a vape. If Amanda went and ordered a ton of vapes a couple weeks ago because she knows I like to vape and she's going to start to get back into, cutting down cigarettes and everything like that. So I she went and just bought a bunch of them and she's like, okay, here, choose one or two, whatever you like. And I liked it. Like I liked the fact that she went out of her way and she thought about something like that, knows what I like. So like, but like for me, like when growing up, like when I saw Home Alone and Kevin was just like, when I get older, I'm just gonna buy my own pizza and fuck everybody else. And I was like, that's what it got implanted into my head. Like, because growing up, I didn't get the things that I wanted.
Hmm.
I listen, I'm not gonna say I didn't get everything. I didn't get things that I wanted because I did. I did get things. But the one story I'll tell you is Christmas. I wanted a specific kind of phones. Back in the day, they had landlines, ladies and gentlemen, and we had to
Hmm.
get our own landline. And so when I was old enough that my parents got me a phone line, um,
You had
hooked
your
up
own phone line?
to their phone line. It was a phone line that
Okay.
was in the room that was to the family phone.
Okay.
My mom said, "Okay, what phone do you want?" I went and I put the model number. I gave him a picture. I printed out a picture. I gave it to them. And I said, "This is the phone I want for Christmas." Okay. Christmas morning, I wake up. I open the phone and it's the same brand, but the on the phone, it had the stand with you can dial and it had a speaker on it. On
Hmm.
the and then it was a cordless phone where you can also talk on. I opened it up. It was just the plain base with the phone, and they cost exactly the fucking same.
Did they run out of the other one?
No, no,
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
made sure. Like I did the whole because I wanted this phone. I wanted this one
Mhm.
specific phone, and so I did the work on it. And when I opened it up and it was not, what I asked for, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I appreciate it, but fuck this. Like you guys went deliberately out and got what I didn't ask for. You asked me what I wanted. I told you exactly. I did the work. I gave it to you. I said, fuck it. From now on, I'm just gonna work my ass off and I will get whatever the fuck I want.
And
And
that
that's
was
what
Davey at 5.
And then I went to go mow lawns and fucking and clear snow. But yeah, so
No, that really fucks with you though.
yeah. And it's not
Because
like
it's just like, can I?
oh, I got a Beamer instead of Mercedes. That's not what it was, it was that. But yeah, it fucks with you.
Well, no. Yeah, I'll tell you a story when we're out of here.
But yeah, but the whole gist of the whole thing is communication, and don't let your fucking anger and ego get in the way of it, because there's no need. There's absolutely no need. But
Nope.
with that,
Well, that was weekend therapy, people. Have a great week. We will